Snowfro was in Block Talk a few nights ago talking about the whole bot problem and allow lists and there's no perfect scenario. And he proposed something which I thought was pretty cool. And it was sort of like his dream scenario for how minting would be done in the future in a dream scenario would be they would have like 100 different methods for getting on an allow list, and every drop they would randomly pick 10 of those hundreds, 10 of those 100, and use that to determine who's on the list. So it could be, do you own a previous piece of art blocks curated? It could be, have you sent more than 1,000 messages in Block Talk? It could be completely random. It could be, can you answer a quiz about generative art and you have like 2 minutes to do it, etc.,
Right.
etc. So it's very difficult for someone to like game that system and prepare in advance because there's so many different avenues.
Sort of. I was going to say it seems like in order to really try and make that not as gameable, it would have to be kind of a regularly doing thing. Otherwise, like for instance, you're saying 1,000 messages on Block Talk. Right when that becomes one of the 100, everybody can just do that. And now for the rest of eternity, we have that checked off, and all of the same things could sort of be gamed. So maybe 100 in the last whatever, and it's kind of just a rolling thing.
Yep.
Two Bored Apes talking NFTs, DeFi, and some random stuff. Two Bored Apes talking NFTs, DeFi, and some random stuff.
Welcome to episode 68 of Two Bored Apes. I'm your host, Jamie. I'm here with my friend and co-host, Roy, with the mellifluous voice. Roy, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Bleh. I couldn't say that before we started recording. I still can't say it. Mellifluous?
I'm not 100% sure that I'm saying it right, but I feel more confident than you.
Say it again.
Mellifluous.
Mellifluous.
I don't have that U that you do.
Mellifluous.
You just did another U. Mellif, and then right after that, I'm just going straight into... See, now you got me fucked up. Mellifluous is kind of how I'm doing
Mellifluous.
Yeah, but I have no idea.
Well, thank you.
This is a great start to the episode.
It is. We decided before, just before we started recording, we were going through like the usual run of show and like, what's the news of the week? And we were like, is this going to be the episode that we just do away with segments? And I think it is. We're just gonna.
There's nothing good for news of the week at this week, at least, that I could think of.
Not that I could think of either. I've been a bit out of it this week.
So
but,
we're sort of skipping it. Yeah, you have been out of it. Do you want to talk about that or no?
I guess, nah.
Okay, great. Okay, so we have no news of the week. You don't want to talk about why you haven't been here for a week. You want to pronounce mellifluous again for a while?
Mellifluous. There's a new art blocks curator drop coming up. Maybe we can talk about that.
That's true. We can talk about it. That's called The Field. Is that right?
The Harvest.
The Harvest. I'm sorry.
Harvest. The Field was a previous drop by Bia Vangier.
Oh, that was like the very previous one. Yeah. That's why it was in my head. Yeah.
What do you think of The Harvest? I think it looks great.
I've only looked at it a little bit, but it does look cool. It looks pretty similar to, or, has a sort of a similar texture to a pretty popular FX hash drop that I can't think of the name of. I don't know if that does anything for you. It's actually a couple that kind of reminds me of.
Not exactly.
But it's very much sort of that cross-hatching thing.
Yeah.
Something about it's like balloons and somethings or something.
Balloons and somethings?
I'm going to have to search on FX hash a little bit now, but I'm not going to find what I'm looking for, I don't think.
Yeah. It does look similar to like a bunch of stuff, but there's nothing that I can put my finger on. Rachel said it looked kind of like Meridian a little bit, which I see vibes of that.
Yeah, there's some of that as well.
Yeah.
I have not looked at it extensively at all, though. I mean, there was a couple posted, I think, in our group chat, and I'm on the website right now, but I haven't clicked the like explore the algorithm button or anything like that.
That's a cool button. They added, I don't know, in the last couple of months, where you can just explore the algorithm. You can see, like previously, an artist would upload the code to like the test net or like the test contract, and then they'd mint 50, 100, 200, and you could, before the curator drop or any drop, go and view like a couple hundred samples, but now you can actually view like and it wasn't necessarily like the final output. Like sometimes they were still tweaking the algorithm.
Yeah.
But now I think you get the opportunity to see as many outputs as you want by just exploring the algorithm on their website, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of that magic of minting where the output doesn't exist until you click a button, and now there's a new one generated, which is kind of a fun little thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to try and mint?
Probably not. I have not tried to mint on art blocks in a very long time. I don't think I even really have ETH right now, or at least not in my hot wallet. I mostly these days just look at the projects, and then every 4 or 5 I'll kind of find the one that I like the best, and who's had the price action that looks nice, and kind of acquire it and just do it more slowly that way, rather than trying to play the minting game against the bots and stuff.
Yeah. I also haven't minted or like tried to mint for a very long time, especially for curated drops. But it sounds like they might be doing something about the bots.
Yes,
they're
I've heard
toying
that as well.
with allow lists, currently not for curated. It's for like Art Blocks Presents, where the artist has the ability to, if they want, do some sort of allow list allocation for their drop. And I think more artists are experimenting with that.
Nim Teams,
which I think is
for
pretty
instance,
cool.
just had that.
Yeah.
I didn't even mint mine. I don't know if it's still available. I hope so, because I was entitled to by having a Nimbuds.
I don't think it is. I think you had 24 hours prior to mint, and then the rest were like batch auction. Yeah.
And I never set up the thing to designate my hot wallet or whatever as a whatever
delegate.
Yeah, a delegate of my cold wallet. So it was just too many clicks.
Snowfro was in Block Talk a few nights ago talking about the whole bot problem and allow lists, and there's no perfect scenario. And he proposed something which I thought was pretty cool. And it was sort of like his dream scenario for how minting would be done in the future in a dream scenario would be they would have like 100 different methods for getting on an allow list. And every drop, they would randomly pick 10 of those 100, and use that to determine who's on the list. So it could be, do you own a previous piece of Art Blocks curated? It could be, have you sent more than 1,000 messages in Block Talk? It could be completely random. It could be, can you answer a quiz about generative art and you have like 2 minutes to do it, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very difficult for someone to like game that system and prepare in advance because there's so many different avenues.
Sort of.
Yeah. So, yeah, some insight into where things may head one day, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's kind of similar to the memes by 6529.
I was going to say, it seems like in order to really try and make that not as gameable, it would have to be kind of a regularly doing thing. Otherwise, like, for instance, you're saying 1,000 messages on Block Talk. Right when that becomes one of the 100, everybody can just do that. And now for the rest of eternity, we have that checked off. And all of the same things could sort of be gamed. So maybe, 100 in the last whatever, and it's kind of just a rolling thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll just trying to think through it.
Constantly evolving.
Yeah. That's an interesting idea, though.
Yeah, I like it.
It's like a randomized version of all the stuff that the whitelist grinding used to sort of be annoying, because it was certainly this, and then so it didn't. It was just a reward at the end to get the mint, whereas this is sort of encouraging overall good behavior, and you're not guaranteed to get the mint because of it, because there's the randomization thing. That's interesting.
Yeah, a ton of work for them to implement, obviously, but I could see it being.
If you have a giant profitable business, though, it's worth putting some effort into it, I suppose, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which they, seem very, very willing to do and have shown over and over again. So let's not act like I'm saying, oh, the least they can do is put some effort in. They put in effort, but it's for something that's totally worth it.
Yeah. Friendship bracelets ended their claim period, I think 6 days ago, the 10th.
It was Monday. I was messaging, so Tuesday, sometime on Tuesday the 10th. Yeah.
Do you know off the top of your head what the final supply is?
No, but I think there was supposed to be. I feel like I remember in my head there being like 50-ish thousand wallets that had Artplex pieces.
Yeah, the total cap was like 120,000 or something.
Yeah, and then so the other day in our group chat, somebody said half. So I guess it's somewhere around 50,000.
I just looked it up. 38,432.
Okay, is the total number that were minted?
Yeah.
Okay,
Which is
so that would be less than half if it really is 50,000 wallets.
yeah, just kind of wild.
Yeah.
Who are all these people? Like, I mean, I understand a lot of people would have just like checked out and they're not checking in on Block Talk or Uplook's Discord or anything, but
it seems pretty easy. I mean, I have multiple people in my life that only have an art blocks because of my influence in them, but don't pay enough attention on a day-to-day basis to know about it. And so if I had drifted away or not cared about them getting the money or whatever, they would have just missed it. I mean, I didn't tell Justin about it until the night before. I was like, oh shit, Justin has a piece too. Justin, hurry up and do this.
Well, you posted that in our group chat, and that made me remember that my sister had some art blocks, and I managed to get her to mint with less than an hour left. So that was really cutting.
Yeah, I didn't know what time on Tuesday that it was stopping. I just knew it was the next day, and I didn't think of it until like 10:40 at night. So I was like, Justin, like, hurry the fuck up, you got to do this, even though it probably was at noon or something instead of.
I think it was noon Central Time or something like that.
Yeah, so he would have had a little bit more time, but still.
Yeah, but that was exciting.
Yeah,
it's always especially because 3 months ago or whatever it was when they first launched, they were like a cool, fun little thing, 0.05 ETH.
Right.
And now, the floor is 0.5, 0.6. If you get a rare one, it could be 5 ETH. That's like...
I mean, Marfa Sunset specifically, most of the rare ones still not...
2-3 ETH.
Less than that, I think. But,
Yeah.
I mean, a named palette on average, the floors are like 1.5 about for most of them.
That's still great. Palettes. Yeah.
It's amazing for a free thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the community has decided that they really like them and has enjoyed collecting them and all that, and so the price action has been very nice. Hopefully we got some listeners that might have otherwise forgot to mint theirs to mint theirs.
We definitely did. I had a few people in the Zen Academy Discord basically mention as much. They were like, I did not know about it.
You never, humans can lie. So you don't know.
Okay, Jamie.
You have evidence,
but
there
is some evidence. You can never be 100% sure of anything. You're correct.
Except for that you're a thinking thing, right? That's what the soul.
I think, therefore I am. Yeah.
Could be a brain in a vat, but whatever it is that I am, it's definitely a thing that's capable of thinking.
Could be plugged into the Matrix.
Right.
Could be.
That's been a fun thing that people that are facing consequences for their actions lately have been doing. They're going, "Oh, it's the Matrix. The Matrix is that." Like, shut up. People just found out that you're a dirtbag, and now you're paying some small amount of repercussions. Logan Paul specifically is one that did it recently because of people looking into his rug project or whatever.
It's the Matrix, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boy, I wish we had another segment to throw to rather than just this formatless thing that you've decided that we're doing this week.
Well, I wanted to ask you, this is not NFT related at all, but you are planning a trip to Vermont soon because you're planning on potentially moving there, correct?
Correct.
Why Vermont? I was chatting to Rachel about it the other day, and she asked,
and you couldn't figure it out. Well, so the first kernel of it is that Kayla's grandmother on her mom's side, their family hails from Vermont, and so for a long time she's kind of visited and liked it. And then I visited with them first time maybe 3 years ago or whatever, and I also liked it. It's a more rural, slower pace of life kind of thing, which is nice. And we have constant, not battles, but disagreements about how much of the yard here I can use and which parts of the yard I can use for growing food, and that would not be an issue in Vermont. So that would be a nice benefit for the both of us.
Is real estate cheaper in Vermont than where you are?
I think the like housing itself is not really cheaper, but the land is cheaper because it's more plentiful. I think I actually heard that the average lot in Vermont has more acreage than in any state in the country, which seems kind of weird because there's states like
The
Wyoming that
middle
are
of
way bigger with
yeah.
like also tiny populations, but it might also just already be parceled up to lots of otherwise. I don't really know. Um, could also be like a residential thing specifically where all that space
hmm
in Wyoming is just farmland or nothing or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's a good
Anyway,
response.
it's beautiful. The thing that we're slightly concerned about is that it's even colder and snowier than it is here. It's not as though we're like unpleasantly cold and snowy here and we're going, oh, it's even worse, but it's just we haven't dealt with that level of cold and snow before, so we have to make sure that we can handle it or whatever.
How cold are we talking?
Let me check Vermont monthly temperatures. Let's see. Oh, and you know what? How good are you with Fahrenheit?
I'm good when it's not negatives. When it gets to negatives, I lose every semblance of understanding. So
Okay, so the average low in January is 9 degrees Fahrenheit, and the average
wow,
high is 27 Fahrenheit. So the high of each
the
day is
high is
still
like
below
negative.
freezing.
Yeah,
And
I don't.
that's true for January and February, and basically December. December, the high average is 32.3, so just microscopically above it.
That does not sound that pleasant. I mean,
If you're outside in improper clothing, definitely not. But if you're inside by a roaring fire or something like that, it's probably
oh,
quite nice.
fire.
Yeah,
Oh, that's gonna be great. I
I
bet you're gonna
know.
have a nice fire
Yeah,
pit. Yeah,
outdoor
indoor
fire
fire
pit
pit
and
and
indoor fireplace
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, I'm immediately jealous. Yeah,
And Toby loves it, or has loved it when we've gone in
Vermont,
the yeah.
nice.
He loves just laying in snow in general. So,
Yeah,
and we
that's
do
cool.
not get it that much. I mean, it's actually snowed this morning, but we only get like good snowfalls, maybe 4, 5 a year, something like that
Mm,
here. Whereas I think it'll be sort of almost constantly down, at least in some of the higher elevation areas there.
cool. Well, I look forward to you getting a giant place and me coming to visit and you having a fire and us making some s'mores and
And getting
yeah.
made fun of for us just reading the same book at the same time as the last time you visited.
That was great though.
It's
What a
such a
great
good book.
series.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The Three Body Problem, the trilogy.
Yeah.
If
Specifically,
you're listening
though,
to
at the
this,
time, I was reading The Dark Forest,
The
and you
Dark
were like
Forest.
finishing it and transitioning into the last one, as I recall.
Yeah. If you like science fiction, if you like fiction, if you like reading, you should read these books.
Yeah, love them.
They're fantastic.
Highest recommendation from the both of us.
Yeah. How's January going?
Good. I did maybe like 3 of the first 6, and then I have not done stuff lately because I've just been a little bit busy doing other stuff. But ultimately, the reason I wanted to do it was to kind of get myself back into it, and I think it's been successful in doing that and thinking about and working on my actual project. So in that sense, it's completely worked. But I have not done any of the prompts for the last 5 days, probably.
But your actual project's coming along
Yeah.
nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is very exciting. Do you have like a target goal in mind? Like you hope to have your project released?
It was a 2023 New Year's resolution. So in that sense, this year it is the goal.
Yeah.
Realistically, though, I could probably, if I wanted to, say, April or something would be a very realistic goal for me. I'm not saying it, but I would be pleased and not surprised if it's done in the first half of the year.
Nice. I would love that. That would just be super
too.
cool. Yeah.
I also, I've been paying a little bit more attention on FX Hash. It's just so conducive to regularly doing projects, because they can be small additions, they can be small prices. There's not a curation thing. So,
yeah.
I still sort of think of the idea of a long form generative thing as having a high enough threshold that I really want to take good care of it, and I plan to. But I could also see once it's there, me kind of regularly doing, you know, just much more modest projects to explore different interesting things.
It sounds like so much fun.
It does.
Yeah.
It's always fun when I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know what we can talk about? Upcoming Yuga drops. Have you been following that at all?
Maybe slightly more than you, but not much. There's some sort of
Yeah.
skill-based free mint that they're doing. I know that. I think that I know that dogs are somehow involved in some type of way. Beyond that, I'm going to let you start talking now.
All right. So I think my understanding is that there will be a claim for, I think what they're calling sewer passes or mint passes or tickets,
Yes.
which are used to play this game. And there's 4 different tiers of these tickets. The bottom is a mutant, and then it's a mutant plus a dog, and then it's an ape, and then it's an ape plus a dog. So depending on which NFTs you hold, you get to mint the corresponding sewer pass. And then those passes can be sold. They're NFTs, and so you don't necessarily have to own an ape to play the game to mint the next thing. I don't even know what the next thing is, but so you can buy one on secondary, and
Right.
you know, if you're an ape holder who doesn't have the time or desire to play games or isn't good at games,
sell it.
then you can just sell it. And I think this game, The Trial of Jimmy the Monkey, I don't know if that's the name of the game, or no, Dookey Dash, I just remembered, is the name of the game. I think it'll be open for 3 weeks, and depending on like how well you do during that 3-week period, it'll dictate like
How well
the
I
result.
do or how well one does.
How well one does.
It's not because they're not planning this around me.
Correct. That will influence the output of your mint, and that's kind of the extent of mine. I still don't know what people are minting.
Yeah, we're both fairly checked out from that community at this point.
Yeah,
but that is still where the name of our podcast comes from. Two Bored Apes.
Yeah, I think this episode specifically is probably I was going to say the most bored apey we've been, but that's not correct. I was going to say the most bored we've been, but that's also not least structured we've been. Maybe there's something there.
You know,
Two apes
I don't know
just
how
sitting around chatting.
I was thinking about it the other day, how like long we've been doing this, but do you remember how many recordings we did that never saw the light of day? We probably recorded 7 times without releasing them. And you want to talk about structureless? We had no idea what was going on. We hadn't realized that I needed to be the host at the time. I was just sitting there watching you be silent. I was like, this is not working.
Yeah, it was a mess. And I think we thought on like we had the idea, and then we said, all right, it was like a Wednesday, and we're like, all right, let's try and get the first episode by next Monday, next week. It was like 6 weeks later, episode 1 is done. Yeah, we've done 68 episodes, so this is the 68th.
Yes, the other thing I was thinking of is I was thinking about having us re-release the live episode from Barcelona yesterday. Do you know that was our 4th episode only? 4th.
What?
Yeah,
no.
I was shocked when I looked that up because it felt like we had already been doing it for long enough.
That can't be real.
That's what it is. I was shocked when I saw that.
No way.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was like 11th if you include all those recordings that we never released.
Wow, you're right.
Yeah.
So the first episode was August 10th. It felt so much earlier.
But that's because, again, we started like April 1st. We started recording these things. That can't
Remember when
be
we
true,
used to argue over words? I say scarcity, you say scarcity.
Yes, people used to love that, and it happened organically, and yet it doesn't seem to happen anymore.
Mellifluous.
We can't agree on that one, but because neither of us know how to do it. The other ones, we're both confident. Oh, I'm saying this right. Archetype.
It's archetype, not archetype.
Whatever you say.
And it's ETH, not eth. Teeth, not meth. I'm looking through like the titles of our old episodes now. Mutants, they're insane. That was a Barcelona one. The next one was Redemption, Loot, and Solana. Loot, that was something.
I remember being in the Airbnb in Portugal talking to you about Loot and how crazy it was.
September 14th, 2021, we have Bear Market in the title. That, boy, were we in for a surprise.
Or not that much of a surprise, but we were in for a more bearish market, you're saying?
Yeah. Episode 9, Jaime sells his sea ham to Starry Night Capital. That was funny.
It was. Turned out to have been a good sale, especially if I had converted to fucking stables. Don't get me started on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we started doing Twitter Q&A. We stopped that for a while. We should maybe bring that back.
Did I tell you I'm doing the Scandinavian defense instead of Sicilian now? Sicilian is so complicated.
Jamie, I don't know what these openings are.
Oh, that's right.
You're
somehow like 2,000 rated chess player that doesn't know the names of openings. You used to know them all, I guess, huh?
No, I didn't. I never knew openings.
Oh.
I knew like a couple and like how to like not lose stuff, but I would just like just make moves that didn't have a piece get lost.
But you had like a trainer or whatever. What the hell were they teaching you? Just tactics, calculating?
Yeah. Like endgame stuff, middle game stuff. They definitely tried to teach me openings, but it just never stuck. It just never stuck. Yeah, I would try and learn, and like every now and then there'd be like a cool opening where if you do this and the opponent makes a mistake, then it's like, oh, I'm gonna trap them and I'll just do that same opening a million times.
Right. And then you come across somebody that's aware of that trap, and you're like, fuck. You have no development.
Yeah, but that happens enough, and then you realize, all right, so then people who know it are going to do this other move. So then you figure out how to like not be in a terrible situation there.
But unfortunately, we can't talk about that as far as it concerns the Sicilian and the Scandinavian, because you don't know what either are. My number one chess
I know the Sicilian. That's like E4, C5?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know like beyond that.
Right. Well, so there's a million variations. I've been trying to play the dragon mostly, but apparently you're supposed to play like all these different variations based on what they do rather than just always do the dragon and all that shit. But the Scandinavian, much smaller tree. So I'm just going to try and learn that.
Nice. Should we play a game of chess live on air?
Sure.
All right.
This is one of the segments that really is a lot worse if you're not watching the video, I think. Even if you are watching the video, if you don't care about chess, not interesting either. My discussion of this is making me think we shouldn't do this, but it sounds like we're going to do it anyway. Play with a friend. What do you want to do? 1 minute and 1 second increment or something?
Oh man, I'm so terrified of losing now. But let's do 1 minute with like 3 second increments.
Okay. I'm going to send you a link right now.
All right. Let's play chess. I am black. All right. Let's just see what happens here. Oh man, it's been a while. All right. I do not feel comfortable. What is... For those listening, no one has taken a piece yet. It's about to happen. This is not good podcasting.
I know. I tried to tell you that.
Yeah. All right. What do I... All right. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. That was not good. This is terrible, Jamie. This is really bad. All right, Jamie is definitely winning. Is this going to be the first time Jamie defeats me at chess? Seems plausible. See, old Jamie wouldn't have protected that pawn.
I am better than I used to be.
You definitely are. I'm not liking this. Oh shit, I'm running out of time. I'm gonna stop talking and start concentrating. Damn. You had checkmate there.
God damn it. Oh, fuck you.
If we go back to here, I think if you went queen to H, whatever that is, 8, that's checkmate.
Yeah.
GG.
Fuck.
That was
I'm so
close.
much
That
better
was
than
too.
you. God damn
You
it.
yeah, that was too close for comfort, Jamie.
You're. Ugh.
Whew.
Okay. Back to your regularly,
Regularly
scheduled
scheduled programming.
Although not
What else has
really,
been happening?
because we've done away with the format for this episode.
All right, let's try and bring it back to NFTs, crypto. I mean, crypto is pumping. We can talk about that.
Crypto is
It's up,
pumping, and I just bought one of those Sarah Ridgeleys that I've been talking about buying for a while.
Nice. Congrats.
Thank you.
I haven't bought much in a while. Well,
You know what I've realized also? I'm going to have to start buying more cheap stuff on FX Cash now that we do these giveaways regularly. Like the low floor projects, I'm running out of pieces slowly of them.
Yeah.
So I have to find more projects I think look nice but are very cheap and re-up.
When you have your own project, you can just start giving away.
That's true.
Reserve some of those and just give those away.
Those will have to maybe be more special though. But I had to do double last week too because you were just AFK or whatever.
I was gone. So I guess I have to do double this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, ETH is up, I don't know, 40% in the last couple of weeks, which is pretty cool. And NFTs were pumping as well. And then when ETH went crazy, everything started crashing, which tends to happen.
That used to be the oldest discussion topic constantly in the Twitter Q&A episodes. Hey, when F goes up, what are the prices of the NFTs going to do? When F goes down, what are the prices of the NFTs going to do?
Yeah. And our answer was always, we have no idea. It's who knows?
But in the small amount of time that we've been in NFTs, all of the possible combinations have already happened. So who fucking knows?
Exactly.
I'm very excited for this game I've got planned for you, though.
Ooh, I like games.
Do you want to do it, or do you want to try and talk about NFTs longer first? So game/quiz.
Oh, I like games and quizzes. I guess the only NFT thing. Well, yeah, no, I'll forget it. I was going to say there's like a PFP update, but
we can save the good NFT talk for when there's stuff to talk about, when there's actual news of the week, like next week.
All right, let's play a game or a quiz.
Okay, you have 3 choices to begin with, right? For which one we're gonna do. Animal, true or false? We have
Mm-hmm.
animal facts, true or false. Which historical figure was born first?
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's 4, not 3. Which country
Even
had
better.
more people in 2019?
Ooh.
And the last one is, are these science facts true or false?
I want to play them all, Jamie.
No, we're going to, but one per
Okay.
episode is the plan.
Okay. Which country had more people in 2019?
Okay. Just as an FYI, the one I've had the most fun doing with people is which historical figure was born first.
Yeah.
I've given that quiz to so many people already. Okay, so here's a couple things. In this, ultimately, they are less concerned in the book with you getting it right than they are with how accurate your feelings of how accurate you are. Does that make sense? So they basically they give you the question and then they tell you have to say if you're 55%, 65, 75, 85, or 95% sure. And so then at the end of all of it, you go to see what percentage of the questions you said you were 65% accurate you actually got right.
What book is this?
This book is just went through puberty for a second there. This book is called The Scout Mindset. I just finished it yesterday. It's quite good.
Okay.
But I think for purposes of this, we're not going to do the percentage thing, okay?
Okay.
Unless you want to, but then it's more complicated for me to keep track of.
I believe in you, Jamie.
Okay, so we're going to do that as well.
How many questions are there per thing?
There's 10 for everything.
Okay, that's not too crazy.
Not at all. Okay, I'm going to get a little thing here to write down your answer and your confidence. Mm-hmm. The confidence thing, though, we'll have to wait till the very, very end after you've done all 4 to map it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Which country had more people in 2019? I'm going to give you the 2 options. You tell me which one, and then how confident you are. 55, 65, 75, 85, or 95. Question number 1, Germany or France?
Germany, 75%.
Japan or South Korea?
Japan, 65%.
Brazil or Argentina?
Brazil, 85%. Scratch that. Make it 95%. Feeling good about Brazil.
Egypt or Botswana?
Botswana, 65%. 55%. 55%.
I was going to say that the amount of time it took you to say that didn't sound like 65%.
Yeah.
Mexico or Guatemala?
Mexico, 65%.
Panama or Belize?
Panama, 75%.
Jamaica or Haiti?
Haiti, 55%.
Greece or Norway? What's so funny?
I'm like, why aren't they giving me like Australia or America or something that is very
China
very
or Cuba?
Right, what was that?
China.
Yeah, that was Greece or Norway.
Greece or Norway?
I'll go Greece, 85%.
China or India?
Did India overtake China is the big question.
2019,
3 years ago. I'm going to say China, 75%.
Last, Iraq or Iran?
Iraq, 65%.
Okay. 65%. Let's go to the back here. Even though I think at this point I know all the answers. Actually, I do because I wrote down my things. Okay. Germany or France? You have Germany. That's correct.
Nice.
Japan or South Korea? You have Japan. That's correct. Brazil or Argentina? You have Brazil. That's correct. Egypt or Botswana? You have Botswana. That is incorrect. Let's see how far off you are, because that's part of the fun. Potentially. Egypt or Botswana? Egypt has 100 million. Botswana has 2 million. So you were off by a factor of 50. 98 million away from being correct on that one. Mexico.
I at least said 55% confidence, right? I was not very confident about that one.
You started with 65, and then you
well, I forgot what the lowest was.
Then you smartly downgraded to 55. Mexico or Guatemala? You got that correct. Panama or Belize? You got that correct. By saying Panama. So here's what happened with me. The first 5, I answered the first country. And I was like, the sixth one, it can't. Panama or Belize was a toss-up. So I was like, I got to pick the second one. And they got it wrong. Haiti or Jamaica? You said Haiti. That was correct. I got that one wrong.
Nice.
Greece or Norway? Greece is correct. China, correct. Iran, incorrect. Well, you said Iraq, which was incorrect.
Yeah.
Iran had 83 million. Iraq had 39 million. So pretty far off, but nothing like Egypt, Botswana.
Not a factor of 50. I feel pretty good about that.
So you got 2 wrong, and they were a 55% and a 65%. So you're doing pretty good so far. Nice.
That was fun.
Maybe Botswana can be the answer for the giveaway this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna give away 2 Tezos NFTs. Vitor will have
2 to 2 people.
Put a link. 2 to 2 different people.
So 4 pieces.
I'm doing 4 pieces.
I think.
Sure, why not? I have a lot of Tezos NFTs.
I think I remember sending 1 to 2 people last week, and then Vitor going, "Oh, can you also?" So I think it was 4.
Okay,
it doesn't matter though.
I will. Yeah, however many. There'll be description and instructions in the show notes. There'll be a link to heymint.xyz, which is what we use to run these giveaways, and yeah.
I mean, while we're here, let's do the which historical figure was born first, right? It's really fun, I think.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it. Let's see, where are we? Okay, here we go. All right, let me get my writing down. Historical figures. Okay, number 1, Julius Caesar or Confucius?
Born first?
Who was born first?
Confucius. 65%.
I love when you take forever and don't say 55%.
Yeah.
But you were doing real stuff, not just.
I was thinking. I wasn't just like, I have no idea what's going on.
The symbols are behind you. Okay. Fidel Castro or Mahatma Gandhi?
Castro, Gandhi. Go with 65% as well.
Nelson Mandela or Anne Frank?
Interesting. I will go with Nelson Mandela with 75%.
Cleopatra or Muhammad?
Cleopatra. 95%.
William Shakespeare.
That was not a very confident 95%.
William Shakespeare or Joan of Arc?
Joan of Arc, 75%.
George Washington or Sun Tzu?
Wow, this one's a coin flip. Sun Tzu, 55%.
This one, by the way, I'm just going to interrupt. This one was my absolute favorite. It's by far the biggest disparity in years, and a ton of people I did it to said George Washington. Sun Tzu was born almost 2,300 years before George Washington.
Yeah.
He was in the 500s BC.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. You got it right. You said Sun Tzu. What percent did you say?
I said 55.
Okay. Genghis Khan or Leonardo da Vinci?
Genghis Khan. 65%.
Queen Victoria or Karl Marx?
Queen Victoria, 65%.
Saddam Hussein or Marilyn Monroe?
Another coin flip. Marilyn Monroe, 65%.
Last but not least, Albert Einstein or Mao Zedong?
Albert Einstein, 55%.
I think you did excellently, Roy. Let's see here. Confucius,
Nice.
Correct. Gandhi, correct. Mandela, correct. Cleopatra, correct. Joan of Arc, correct. Sun Tzu, correct. Genghis Khan, correct. Queen Victoria, incorrect. This one, however,
Who was Queen Victoria up against?
Karl Marx. This is the closest one. They were born in 1818 and 1819, 1 year apart.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Marilyn Monroe, correct, and Albert Einstein, correct. 9 out of 10. Very good. Not enough
Thank you very
confidence, though.
much.
You just said 65, like almost across the board.
Yeah, I mean, I did not feel confident about almost any except...
I had 3 95s in there where it was like, I know very confidently something that's going on.
Yeah. Well, you're much more of a historian than me.
True. True. Julius Caesar, Confucius, by the way, I got it correct, but I was only able to put 65 because I wasn't that confident of when Confucius was. I know exactly when
What made
Caesar
me...
was born.
When was Caesar born?
100 BC.
So what I thought, I remember Caesar's, in my mind, it was somewhere around 0, give or take, 100 years. And Confucius, I remember, I read something, but I know that Stoicism came up around the same time as Confucius was sharing similar things in the East, and Stoicism, I think, is like 300 or 400 BC.
Okay.
So that was my logic, but not super confident.
I'm going to look at your 65%. Okay, so hold on. I got to actually put the X next to the queen. Yeah, so like me, no, because you had Iraq at 65%. Well, we'll see what all the numbers say at the end.
All right.
Halfway done. We can do the other 2 next episode.
I hope this was interesting for listeners. I think it was. That was.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Educational, yeah. So
they get to play along too, which is fun.
Exactly. Anything else before we have to wrap up?
Do you want to play Dota after?
I could play a game. I got to go to dinner in an hour and a half, but
I
yeah.
kind of want to make coffee. Well, I should. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't. I have shit to do still. We'll see.
One quick game.
One quick game
We'll
can't
see.
hurt.
No. All right. What was the password for the giveaway again?
Botswana. It's the name of a
Botswana,
country.
with a capital
you can look
B.
it up on Google if you don't know how to spell it.
Yeah, capital B, and we'll give
Capital
away a
B.
bunch of. That's what I said. B. B
Okay,
for
I
Bob.
thought you were saying
B
V,
for Billboard.
like V.
B for baseball.
Right.
B for basketball. B for bonk. All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.